today in Anime Defenders, I am going to be teaching you the 3 best ways, in my opinion, to actually earn gems or rerolls or anything you really want in the game and to become super rich in the game. Before the video does begin though, if you guys haven't yet, please make sure to like and subscribe. It would really help me out. And thank you guys so much for 13,000 subscribers. It means a lot to me. And to prove it to you guys, I'm currently doing a giveaway down in my Discord server, link in the description below, and we are giving away 250,000 gems to one lucky person who actually enters in someone's video. As always, there's a code, and the first person to find it will receive a reward of a certain gem amount. Not sure how much yet, but with all that said, let's get straight into the video. All right, everybody. So as you guys can see in the bottom right now, I currently have 15 million gems. I will be honest, that is a pretty decent amount. Like if you go over to the trading hub, I'm currently ranked 28 for the most gems right now, and I still have 19 million wrap, which is crazy by itself. So a lot of these methods that I'm going to show you guys were actually taught by my other friend. But yeah, needless to say, I do have a pretty good amount of gems myself. And not only that, but I also personally own a shiny almighty Gojo that is double trait with swiftness 3, as well as a double almighty shadow dragon, which is currently the most expensive unit in the game, arguably. And I didn't actually pay for the shiny almighty Gojo, guys. I actually made it myself using the methods that I'm going to show you guys. This isn't a flex, but I just want to show you guys like how insane these methods actually are. So let me show you guys exactly how I do it. All right, so the first and best method to actually make gems inside of update 3 and update 4 probably is undoubtedly going to be trading. Now, before I show you guys exactly how to do it, you will have to have like a certain amount of gems or wrap to actually get started. If you don't have like any value, then it's going to be extremely difficult to actually get off the ground and actually start earning a lot of gems. So for the sake of this video, if you want to do what I actually do, I would recommend having at least 1.5 million gems, which may seem like a lot, but using some other methods later in the video, you'll be able to make that in a week maybe if you're consistent with it. If you can make it faster, there are other ways. That's just the time estimate I'm doing. So yeah, if you want to do what I'm currently doing, you'll probably need around 1.5 million gems and like 5,000 rerolls. So assuming you have that, you're also going to need to join the official Anime Defenders Discord server, which I have linked in the description below. So let's get straight on over there. All right, everybody. So here we are. We're in the official Anime Defenders Discord server. So obviously you're gonna have to be verified and you're gonna have to unlock these trading channels here. So let me just start off by saying the main way that you're actually gonna be making gems is by flipping units. So when I say that, there's like a lot of units you can flip. You can flip like almighty units, shiny units. There's a whole bunch of things you can actually do. But for me, in my case, I personally like to flip shiny secrets. So as you guys can see, here is my post here in the exclusive trading channel that you can get access to if you have content creator, tester, or those kinds of roles. So if you look at my post here, you can see that I am buying shadow dragons and shiny shadow dragons, because obviously if I do get a shiny shadow dragon for like 15 million, I can probably end up reselling it for around 20 million gems or like 22 or more million value in actual units and stuff. So if I can get one for 15 million, then that will give me a lot of profit. So that's why I have that there. And as you can see, I'm also offering for shiny Igra, shiny Gojo, shiny Demon King. And I don't straight up buy like almighty shiny Gojo. What I will do is I will look for shiny Gojos that aren't built yet, like they have a bad trait and maybe even bad stats, and then I'll offer like a certain gem amount. Like for Gojo, I would offer around like 1.5 million gems, and if they accept that, then that's where the rerolls come in, because I will use usually around 2,000 to 3,000 rerolls, and then I will make it almighty, and then I'll actually sell it in my booth. And usually I can make a couple 100,000 gems, sometimes even upwards of 1,000,000 gems doing that every time. It really just depends on how many people are actually looking to sell their units. Now let me be clear, guys, this might take a bit of time, but it's mostly passive work, and you can even macro sending trades. I even include an image right here to make my post a little bit more appealing so that hopefully I can get more DMs. I usually AFK this every night and I get around 60 DMs, and sometimes I will find shiny secrets that I can actually buy. Again, you guys don't have to do this, but if you check the trading channels, a bunch of people are actually buying a bunch of like secret units. So if you can get in on that and actually start reselling these units for a little bit more than you paid, then you will actually start to build up a fair amount of gems, and that's when you can start scaling it into like shiny secrets, almighty secrets, and all of that stuff. This is the method that I'm personally using. It's how I built up a few million gems. And when I actually do, in the case, get a double almighty, like an almighty swiftness or an almighty, you know, whatever double trait, I'll actually keep that unit and then I'll use it for myself for like leaderboards when those actually return. So So it's a good way to actually get gems while also preparing yourself with really good units. So if you have the gems to actually start this up, then I would recommend doing it 100%. But there are more ways to actually make gems, so let's talk about those. All right, so the second best way, in my opinion, to make gems in update 3 and update 4 is going to be reroll flipping. And when I mean rerolls, I'm talking about trade crystals, the ones in my inventory here. As you guys can see, I have a few thousand in my inventory right now. Now, in my opinion, this one is slightly more difficult to do, only for the sole reason that you guys will actually need to have like a supplier. But essentially what it is I will go to my supplier. I have a few of them, and I will buy rerolls for around 150 gems per reroll. And I'll buy these in like the 10,000s, like I'll buy like 30,000 at a time for a couple million gems, like 5 million. And then I will distribute them to my 4 alt accounts, and I'll go to highly populated trade servers. I would recommend Germany. I don't really know why, but there's a whole bunch of rich traders in there. Germany is the go-to server that I will use overnight. And then I'll set up my trade crystals. Like this guy right here is doing 1,000 for 190,000 gems. I will usually do mine for 195,000. I usually sell out at that price, but you can even do like 200,000 if you want. It will take some more time, obviously, but you can sell it at that price to people who are desperate enough. So that's another really good way, you guys, to make gems. But obviously, in order to do that, you will have to find someone who can supply you with gems at a cheaper price. So it's a little bit exclusive, but if you guys can manage to do that, then you guys should be making a lot of gems. Now let's move on to more guaranteed ways that won't actually require you to trade. All right, so the second method that I actually want to teach you guys about is going to be centered more around the AFK zone. So I actually did talk about this in my last video about trading, as well as some other YouTubers such as Boss Games, which I referenced in that video. But essentially, if you guys didn't know, in the lobby there's an AFK zone where you guys can earn gems and you can teleport to it. It's like a whole separate server, and as you guys can see here, you get gems every 1 minute and 30 seconds. And if you have VIP or premium, you actually get 2 times the earnings. But if you have both, you actually get 3 times the earnings. Now if you calculate it, I'm pretty sure you will earn around 500 gems per hour if you have 3 times earnings, which equals out to around 11,000-ish gems per day, I'm pretty sure, which may not seem like a lot. And believe me, 11,000 gems is not a lot, well, to me anyways, but that's not the strategy I'm talking about. So what I mean by the AFK zone is I mean you're gonna have like 10 to 20 alt accounts actually running in the AFK zone overnight or anything. Basically, as long as you have your computer on, you're gonna want to have like 10 to 20 accounts in the AFK zone. Now they don't have to have VIP and premium, it just greatly increases the amount you'll actually get from it. So if you had like 20 accounts with VIP and premium, to get the same exact result, you could have 60 accounts that are all level 10, and it would give you the same exact result. But then again, you'd have to get 60 accounts to level 10, which sounds like a big pain. But if you guys are willing to do that, then you can expect upwards of a few 100,000 gems per day. I think it's like 200,000, which is pretty good, because in a week that means you'd earn over 1 million gems from doing nothing. So here on screen, you guys can see I use Roblox account manager. It's a really good one. Honestly, in my opinion, it's probably the best multiple Roblox account manager you guys can use. All you have to do is enter your password and username once, which sounds sketch, but it is, I believe, an open source and trusted website. And then once you do that, you guys can open all the accounts you guys want. As you guys can see here, I'm running like 15 to 16 accounts. I used AFK in the AFK zone, but now I just do it in the trade hub because I actually make more gems from that. So you may be asking, but what about my PC? Isn't it literally gonna explode? Well, there's a workaround for that. Obviously, I wouldn't be doing that if it was all gonna be using 60 FPS. So if you actually go into your settings here and then you go to miscellaneous, you can actually set the max FPS of every single Roblox window you open. So typically when you actually do this at night, you're gonna want to set every count to 5 FPS, and then after that, it would force every Roblox window to only use 5 FPS, so it won't use like any of your actual GPU or CPU, so it shouldn't really matter that much. And on top of that, if you actually do that, you can also make your main account run on 60 FPS just by switching the max FPS back down to 60. So that's personally how I would run it to go into the AFK zone with that many accounts. Obviously, you can do it differently if you so choose, but in my opinion, that is the best way you guys can actually do it. Now, the last way that I actually want to talk to you guys about is essentially farming challenges. Now, as you guys might know, sometimes there are challenges that go around where you guys can actually earn like frost spines and all that kind of stuff. So say from the previous example, you have like 20 alt accounts, and there's, let's say this challenge right here was one that gives you a frost bind. Well, if you guys farmed out all 20 of your accounts, you could easily get 20 frost binds, probably more. And if you guys didn't know, the average frost bind right now is selling for around 5 to 6 rerolls each. each. So let's say that you actually did a challenge on all 20 accounts and you sold all of the frostbinds for 6 RRs each. That would give you 120 reroll traits just from selling those binds that you earned from one challenge. And then if you multiplied that by the average price of a reroll, which is around like 170 give or take, you would end up with around 20,000 gems from completing one challenge on all of your accounts. Now this may not seem like a lot, even though it kind of is, but let's say this is pretty unlikely, but if there was 24 frostbind challenges in a row, which there probably won't be, but that would give you over 400,000 gems from doing one challenge every hour for an entire day, which is half of a million. So if you do that for like 7 days, then you would end up with around 3.5 million gems just from farming challenges alone if they had frostbinds. Not to mention you can do other things like you can farm infinite with the 20 account. It would be a little bit difficult and you would have to have one account that's pretty stacked and you would go until like wave 32 to 48, which would be very hands-on. But in return from that, you'd probably be making at least 10,000 gems every 30 to 40 minutes, as well as getting like, I want to say 80 rerolls per hour, which really adds up in the long run. And people are really desperate to get rerolls, so it would probably pay you a bunch of gems to buy them. So if you have the accounts to do that and the time, then I would recommend just farming infinite. It's really good. If you're a solo player who doesn't have any alt accounts, it's going to be much harder for you to actually do any of these methods, but you really don't need any alt accounts to actually trade. So if you are a solo player and you happen to have a bunch of gems stored up or a bunch of rerolls, I just suggest trading. It's going to be your best bet, and trading can make you a lot richer than some players who only use alt accounts in the AFK zone. I know that flipping units like Shadow Dragon and Shiny Secret can make you upwards of 1 million gems per flip, and you guys can do that multiple times a day. So for all of my solo players, don't worry, there is still hope for you. And the last way you guys can obviously farm is doing the Tower of Eternity. Now I haven't personally done the tower myself, but I know the rewards are very good. So if you happen to have 20 accounts or more farming this, or even one account and you got it to like floor 100, if every floor gave you 110 gems, which I'm assuming it does, you would still earn a decent amount of gems as well as XP, frostbinds, rerolls, and all that good stuff. So if you had multiple accounts doing that, then you should earn a pretty good amount to get you started. All of these methods are pretty decent to get yourself started, but what I would really try to focus on is trading. Trading is definitely the way to go in this economy right now. But yeah, I just wanted to inform you guys about that. That's how I made over 16 million gems of value in about a week. But yeah, I hope one of these methods can actually help you guys earn some gems and hopefully even make a few million before update 4 comes out. If you do have any comments, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be sure to answer as many as I can see. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end out this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace. Oh.